Did you have the temptation when you started to do really like X-rated songs? You know, that feels like a young man's.
I know, Sam. I've gone deep in your vaults before. Because can I just point out? There's like pre-wife and kids SO and 7L, and then there's a clear delineation.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go to the cemetery and fuck some whores.
Yeah.
You think I didn't fucking know that? And I was like,
you know something? That's funny. I'm gonna blame 7L for that because he's the one that put that on the record, and that's a hit on that record. People like that
I
one.
like it.
Yeah, but so my wife writes my rhymes for me now. So everything is very.
But I mean, every young guy, right? Like you're 18, like let's write a rhyme. Like if you're like starting out, it's like everyone's thing is like fuck shit, you know, like
oh my God,
wild stuff.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, you know, I came up listening to a lot of Ghetto Boys, Too Short. You know, when I was listening to EPMD and Public, you know, a lot of East Coast stuff too.
Bust a nut and killed a bitch.
Right.
I hear you. Yeah.
So that stuff would work its way in, and as you get older, you wonder like if you're connecting with the right. I don't know.
Audience?
Yeah. If you're really representing who you are.
Right.
And it kind of changes your lyrical trajectory.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean?
So that's just like a part of evolving.
I think so.
Yeah.
Plus it's easy to rhyme dick with tit and all that shit.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
yo, you just did it right now. Dick and tit and all that shit.
It doesn't even technically
That was
rhyme,
cool.
but
But it does. It's like it doesn't, but it does.
The slant rhyme, they call it.
It does, slant rhyme.
Yeah. It's always that family of tit, clit, dick. You know, it's about you got all those little nip.
Yep.
Or nipple.
So do you just have a thesaurus in your head that works like that? Where you're like, you just
I think
have
so. I
rhyming
think
words?
there's a lot of. I think a lot of the rhymes that I come with start with the actual rhyme schemes themselves, and then I'll come up with a story around it.
Sorry,
like if
say
I
it
think
again.
of two things,
So hold on. You come to my mind, you mean like the cadence, like you have an idea of what the beat is first?
Yeah. No. You have an idea of the rhyme scheme, like the different rhymes, things that rhyme, like
Okay.
Shane Gillis, Painkillers, or something, and then you come up with something like that, like Sakani Azura, Tom Segura, that type of shit. It's and then you're like, okay, so how do I make this into a story? If you're doing braggadocio raps, if you're not coming from, telling a story, a vulnerable story, that's different. Then you're trying to tell the story and find the rhyming words. But if you're coming up with a punchline type stuff that we grew up with,
type of song.
My shit is nice.
Yeah.
That's
a whole lane of hip hop. My shit is nice.
My shit is nice. That wife.
Yeah.
I take her home quicker than Matt Rife.
Yeah, you go.
Or that type of thing. That quick reference. You slide it in there and
that's cool.
I have a hip hop question for you.
Yeah.
This is something I've thought a lot about. I realize I haven't been able to really ask somebody, certainly not a professional, about their opinion on this.
Okay.
So that when hip hop started, it's very easy to, because, things obviously become more complicated as they evolve.
Yeah.
It was very easy to imitate the early day rappers,
Yes.
right? It was very much like A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, like it's that's how it started.
Yes.
And I was trying to think of who were like the first people that it became, like almost difficult, in some cases almost impossible to imitate.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think there's definitely some rhyme schemes that Tretch came up with that I was like, that's actually complicated to duplicate.
Yeah.
And then like the one that stands out, there's you could say E40 on some things for sure too. That's not an easy thing to imitate.
Yeah.
But then that Busta Rhymes took and ran with it of like, as far as like, okay, that's not just something you can just repeat easily.
Right.
Who do you think, or does that line up for you?
Yeah. Pitbull. I'm kidding with Pitbull.
Yeah.
You guys,
Dog work.
This is like I'm bombing at a show.
No, I'm just asking if you
It's
agree
just,
with that sentiment.
I expected you guys to fall down
We
laughing.
just don't know if you're being serious, because I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
what if you respect some element?
Also, Pitbull speaks Spanish. That's hard for a lot of people to
That's
imitate.
hard.
Minor flex there.
Yeah.
Major flex. Mahor flex.
Mejor, yeah.
The roll tongue roll too. No, I would say Rakim kind of.
Yeah.
He when Rakim came out, that changed everything. Before that, I think Melly Mel set the tone.
Yep.
Run DMC. Then Rakim came out with a real laid back delivery.
But do you think that was difficult to mimic?
Yeah, I mean, there are a few people that came out sounding like him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Throughout the years, but it's difficult for me. I still can't do it.
Yeah.
But E40 has a way that, you know, there are people that, you know, if you can rhyme in the pocket, it means it's very important to some people. But there are a lot of artists that I think don't technically rhyme in the pocket that are 10 times more entertaining to me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Like
Old Dirty Bastard on Brooklyn Zoo. It's one of the finest recordings of all time. It's magic.
Yeah, it's magic.
The way he's saying shit. And I'm like, nobody can do it. You know, maybe a few. Wesley Willis maybe can do it. But
the ODB stories, I mean, I'm sure you probably know, but like the stuff that I've seen in interviews, how they were like, you know, showing up to sessions and then, and also being like, we don't even, it's not like, hey, go in there, let's talk about this. They would just like, in some cases, just hit record and see what happens. And he would just go off on these things that were like magic moments that you captured.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's all soul, personality.
Yeah.
And just, you know, him being him, which is, some people get too technical, overthink things.
I heard
with him.
Pharrell tell a story about when he did a song with ODB. I forget the name of the song right now, but how he said ODB was like, what do you want me to do? And that Pharrell was like, just do your ODB shit. And then he's like, I don't know what you mean. So Pharrell did his impression of ODB to him. He was like, just do that.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay. So like he was doing him to him. Like, do this.
Yeah. 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 I mean, to get a performance out of
that's
somebody.
What it was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's just one of these iconic people that, you know, there will never be another guy.
Yeah.
like
you can't
that.
just,
you know.
Yeah.
That's true. I guess in comedy you have like your Sam Kinnisons, Robin Williams, these people that like have some weird mental chemistry mixed with drugs and alcohol or whatever the fuck it is they're on. And you're like, dude, that combo will only ever exist in that human meat sculpture in that particular space in time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Pretty wild. I wonder how much mental illness does play a part in these creative people.
In fascinating personalities.
Yeah. Because like, all the best comics are just fucking gone.
Yeah.
You know? But I love them.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking gone.
Yeah.
Sure.
Gone.
Yeah. Fucked up.
Gonzo.
Everyone's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. I gotta get a little crazier myself, like Seal would say. You know, and then kind of we'll push through that glass ceiling.
A little crazy.
Yeah.
But can I tell you what I love about you actually?
Yeah. Well, by all means.
Is how not crazy you are and how relatable. I always go back to I love the album. Anyway, I like your song Burrito, as silly as it is, because there's just the one lyric where you're like, I'll take the barbacoa, and you're like watching some guy fucking not know how to order.
Yeah.
And you're like, fucking order, douchebag. Like, come on, man. Just like that little moment, that minutia.
It's the same with Call
life.
Me. I told you that how much I love Call Me because
misinterpreted your text.
It's a very relatable sentiment. And it's like, what are your fucking fingers, bro? Whatever you say in there? Because that's exactly like how it feels.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Well, that's actually a diss track to 7L. Nobody knows that, but I'm dissing him.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of communication issues.
Sense.
And
of course, that makes sense.
I'm like, yo, man, just call me and we'll figure this out. Or, you know, or at this point, just text me. But text me like
You know what I've never thought to do? I've never thought that when I'm having that very situation with someone, just to send them that song.
Yeah.
That's what I should be doing.
Absolutely.
Just send the song.
That's
with your Rolodex, I'm sure that would be nice for me. So why don't you send that over to, you know, Quentin Tarantino or whoever else you've had on.
Fucking call me.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Oh, you just watched a YMH highlight. Did you love it? Why don't you have more fun? Click around. Click here, click there, click everywhere. Put a clicker in your beehole. Look, try it out. Have more fun. Why don't you subscribe? That way, every time a video drops, you can be notified. You don't have to think about it. Just do it, man. You're not going to miss a moment of denim. Pull your jeans up, subscribe.